Okay. Well, I almost let the day get away from me without doing another video on day 4 of reading the Bible in a year. Today's reading comes from Romans chapters 1 and 2. There's a lot in these two chapters, but ultimately it's Paul in his excitement to get to Rome. It is very well known the level of faith that is held here, and Paul's excited to be surrounded by other believers. And what I like about this is that he's not excited just to be surrounded by believers, but he is excited at the prospect of how much they can build in each other and motivate each other and feel inspired by each other. So, a couple verses specifically that spoke to me was chapter 1, verse 14 through 16. I am obligated both to Greeks and non-Greeks, both to the wise and the foolish, foolish being represented by the sinners. That is why I am so eager to preach the gospel also to you who are in Rome. For I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes. And the reason this specific passage really spoke to me is because the more I thought about it, the more I realized I'm not ashamed of my beliefs, but I'm also not very open with people about them either. I really think the most open I've been has been in this app for the last 4 days. And honestly, the excitement that Paul felt being surrounded by other believers and being motivated and inspired by them is the same exact inspiration that I've received right from this app while showcasing this side of myself, this journey to reconnect with God and learn to pray. Again, when he said, for I am not ashamed of the gospel because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes. I don't necessarily hide this part of myself from people, but I definitely don't openly speak about it outside of the app. So my first question to you guys would be, how outwardly spoken are you about your faith? But then we go to chapter 2. And in chapter 2, after he's talked about all of these different ways that these people have sinned and things that they do and how God will respond to them, the verse that spoke to me in chapter 2 was verse 3. So when you, a mere human being, pass judgment on them and yet do the same things, do you think you will escape God's judgment? It's just a reminder that we're all human beings. We are all sinners. None of us are holier than thou, so to speak. But there's a lot of us who feel righteous and tend to be a little judgmental of the sins of other people, when really it is not our place to judge other sinners. It is our place to be open and to preach and to make the gospel and the power of God available to those who may not have it in their lives. Only God can truly judge any of us.